Welcome to Newsletter Guru TV, your show with a boatload of smart marketing and business building advice, and a little fun along the way.
This episode of Newsletter Guru TV is brought to you by Jim Palmer's Dream Business Academy, Annapolis. This truly one-of-a-kind live event takes place October 7th through the 9th in beautiful Annapolis, Maryland, and you'll learn exactly how to market and grow a more profitable business faster. Jim and his dream team of speakers will share some of their best marketing and business building advice, all in a pitch-free zone. And don't miss two of Jim's rock star entrepreneur friends, Melanie Benson-Strick and best-selling author Bob Berg. Dream Business Academy Annapolis will quite literally transform your business. Do not miss it. Get all the details and register today at www.dreambizacademy.com. That's www.dreambizacademy.com.
Hey everybody, Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru and your Dream Business Coach. As always, I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. We are here for another live episode of Newsletter Guru TV with my good friend, Diane Gardner. Diane, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Jim. So great to visit with you for a little bit today.
I know. So we did an episode last week, and I'm going to, we went a little bit long, but I didn't get enough questions in, so I'm going to read a short version of your intro, and if everybody wants to know the long version, they'll go back to last week. So here's the deal, folks. Diane Gardner is the co-author of best-selling books Stand Apart and Why Didn't My CPA Tell Me That? She's also authored 3 other books, including her newest, Stop Overpaying Your Taxes, 11 Ways Entrepreneurs Overpay and How to Stop It. You know, Diane Gardner is an expert tax coach. She's a Quilly Award recipient and best-selling author whose proactive planning approach gives clients a leg up on Uncle Sam and helps them dodge the nasty tax bullet. I'm really excited because Diane has recently launched her Get Off the Wheel virtual mastermind and coaching program for accountants. And I got to tell you, it's very unique in this industry. I know accountants all over the country, as does Diane, and there's no group which is really helping to pull accountants together, and some of them are not doing well, some are doing great, but there's no single place where they can all excel, and Diane has really taken up that mantle, so I'm really excited about her Get Off the Wheel virtual mastermind and coaching program, again, exclusively for accountants. She's a firm believer in the importance of utilizing systems and procedures in every accounting office to ensure maximum efficiency and productivity as a means to increasing their bottom line profits, reducing hours worked, and to reduce stress. And that is why I wanted to bring Diane back today, because last week we talked all about tax planning. Diane's an awesome tax coach. But Diane did something, and I guess, Diane, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but you have 9 binders which make up this incredible, I'm going to call it a system of like how to operate a successful accounting practice, right? It's 9?
It is 9, yeah.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, you took 4 or 5, how many years did it take you to put all this together?
We've been working on this for somewhere between 3 and 4 years.
And what I mentioned to you is, again, just in full disclosure, Diane is a member of my coaching program, and I said, listen, everything in there is awesome for accountants, but there's so much stuff in there that has broad overlay to entrepreneurs and small business owners. And I spent a lot of years in retail and also franchise management, and I think people always come to the table with a certain God-given skill and talent for what they do, and if in the world of accounting it would be accounting or bookkeeping, whatever, tax planning, but then running the office, getting people to do what they're doing. Now you start hiring people. How do you train them? And that's where I think it can stifle growth if you don't have the really strong foundation. So I'm really excited about this program, that not only your mastermind and coaching program, Diane, which is awesome, but this whole systems and procedure manual. So I'm trying to think, where am I going to go first? First of all, we don't do commercials here per se, but I want you to go ahead and tell everybody about your Get Off the Wheel program, virtual mastermind and coaching program.
Oh, Jim, it's so exciting because we finally finished putting this all together. This whole program is centered around procedures and systems, things like how do you open or close your office. A just a real quick little story. I was at Dream Biz Academy in San Diego, and I received a phone call from the local police department that my alarm was going off in my business, and come to find out my staff deviated from the system, and they did not lock the front door of my office. Well, of course, I'm in San Diego, and this is happening in northern Idaho.
Yep.
And so it caused a little bit of stress, but we've got it worked out. But I was able to not just be angry at my staff, but to go back to, what does my system say? My system says, this is how you lock up my office. And they didn't do it. And so it made it really easy for the accountability aspect of it, because they had to admit, yeah, we didn't follow the system. So these binders are just full of things like that. Taking a payment, answering the phone, locking up and opening your office, replying to emails, customer service issues, hiring and firing, just general management stuff, admin stuff. We've got systems in there for how we do our monthly newsletter, systems for how we post our social media information. It's just chock full of regular just office systems over and above the accounting type stuff.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm excited about this, believe it or not, systems and procedures, I really, I'm much more the creative go forward type, but, so I'm trying to think, it's like almost 6 years ago now, a really good friend of mine passed away in about a 6-month period from when he was first diagnosed with mesothelioma. And I'm not trying to bring people down, there's a good point to this, but my buddy Eric asked me to help him close down his business, right? And when I went in there to do that, it was so much disarray, Diane, I couldn't figure it out. And then he actually passed, and then they kind of closed the door. You can't do anything now because it all went to like in the courts or whatever. But I vowed at that point that I am going to document everything about my business, because God forbid anybody watching this, something happens to you, even if you don't die. What if you become incapacitated or something? Does your spouse, your friend, your staff, do people know what's going on in here? Because I have, at that time, a team of 9. I'm up to 11 now. But I have people all over the place, writing content, designing this, creating CDs, doing my mailings. Everything was everywhere. I was the center of it all, right, Diane? And I'm thinking, how does this thing keep going without it becoming a chore? Because I saw what happened to my buddy Eric. So this whole thing of systems and procedures, before you start yawning yourself, it's really, first of all, something you need for your business, because it's going to reduce your stress, help you make you more profitable. But it's also going to, it's a very good way to show love for your family and everything. So having said that, Diane, and I think a lot of people, including myself, say systems and procedures like together. What's the difference between procedures and systems?
Well, Jim, procedures is probably just the smaller snippet of a particular step. And systems is stringing a whole bunch of these procedures together to create the system of how something is actually accomplished. So in our case, when a tax return comes in the door, we have a full system for that encompasses probably a few hundred procedures as it works its way throughout the office over the course of the couple weeks that it lands in here.
Very good. Now, I was obviously there when you got the call at Dream Business Academy in San Diego. Well, you shared it with me afterwards. You didn't raise your hand and say, hey, my door's open. But one of the things when you were telling me that story, I remember telling you, is one of the reasons and you brought one of your binders, so I was able to see it, Diana. It was pretty cool. One of the things I said, the big benefit to this is one of the benefits to the owner for investing in something like this is it's going to make the interruptions in your day much less, right? How many times do people knock on your door, even if it's virtually, hey, I need this, how do I do this, what about this, what about that? And if it's all documented, right, it's all right there, they can turn to it, that saves you, right? I mean, that buys you time.
It's huge, the amount of time that it saves me and it frees up in my day, which is evidenced now by all the traveling I do. I attend conferences all over the place, and I'm able to get away from my office, and I never could do that before. It's given me freedom. How
can someone maintain or increase quality control, either using a system like yours, or what if they just wanted to do it themselves? So many entrepreneurs, got to do it myself. How do they do that?
Well, Jim, we use a lot of checklists, and by you having checklists, you're able to make sure that employee or your virtual person, whoever it might be, actually followed all the steps and did all the pieces, and they didn't just shortcut something. And so by virtue of making them be accountable for each and every step along the way of the system, it increases your quality control because they're now answerable to you for making sure that they did it, and they did it the way you want it done and to your expectation.
You know, Diane, whenever I bring on a new team member, I call them team members here. I've no employees; they're all virtual assistants. If they're going to interact with my clients on the phone, through email or anything, there's about a 3-week or almost a 4-week period where they have to read all my books. They have to watch some of my video. I used to make them watch them all, but now I've been doing them for over 5 years. So they got to watch some of my videos, take my courses. They've got to read my emails because I want them thinking like me. I want them knowing what's going on. And so in a way, while I don't have my 9 binders, I do have some systems and procedures which they learn before they interact. But how can a systems and procedure be used for staff training purposes? And again, how can we take the load off of the owner entrepreneur and make their life easier?
Oh, that's one of my favorite ones. And I actually am going through this right now as I'm getting ready to hire another accountant in my office. With our systems and procedures that we've got laid out, I can hand them that binder for, let's say they're going to work on payroll for a client. If I hand them the payroll binder, they can see all the various steps of how we do payroll, how we do a payroll deposit, how you prepare it, how you file it, all those things. And they don't have to come ask me all those steps because they're right there in the binder. And it really, really helps with the new person because half the time they're not going to remember. They can go back to that binder, they can go back to that procedure time and time again until it becomes just second nature to them. So it's very helpful.
Diane, how can a small business owner look to either maintain or increase the quality control in their business? You know, because businesses that are growing, I'm a big fan of speed, fast growth, that's momentum, and all that happens, you know. Our mutual mentor Dan Kennedy says it can create a messy kitchen, right? So how do you maintain some sort of standards so your quality's not dropping as you're growing?
I think you need to be really clear on your expectations, whether it's to your real employees, to your virtual team members. If they know what your expectations and what that outcome is supposed to look like, then in addition to your checklist, your procedures, your things that you've put in place, then they're able to rise to that occasion and they know what you're looking for and they're able to give you a much higher quality product than if they're just trying to figure it out themselves. So good systems and procedures really helps clear up that gray area.
Now, I know, Diane, with your program, your Get Off the Wheel, which, by the way, for folks who aren't accountants, explain the Get Off the Wheel. What does that mean?
Well, most of us small business owners, whether we're accountants or not, we start out in business because we're good at what we do. I was good at bookkeeping and accounting, so I started an accounting practice. Jim was good at newsletters, so he started a newsletter business. And you work harder and harder and harder because you get told this myth that if you just work harder, you'll make more money and you'll be more successful, and that's a lie, because you can work harder and harder and harder till you work yourself to death, and we call that being on the wheel. You've seen the hamster or the rat or whatever is on the wheel, and it's just going as fast as it can go, and it's not going anywhere. So we want to get off that wheel and take control of our business and be able to enjoy it and have the lifestyle that we want to live and not just be consumed with working in this business constantly, but actually have time to work on it. So that's getting off the wheel.
I like it. It's a good name. So Diane, speaking of that, the Get Off the Wheel Mastermind and Coaching Program, what's the URL if somebody wants to learn more about that?
GetOffTheWheel.com. So nice and easy for you.
GetOffTheWheel.com. And I should say that you work with largely accountants, but you also have other people that you work with that are not necessarily in the accounting field.
You bet. Especially people who are running professional offices, it's so important to have systems and procedures in place, and we'd love to have them as part of our group.
Good. And if somebody wants to learn more about your the 9-binder whole thing that they can virtually use to help them run their business, that's at Get Off the Wheel also? It
is. Yeah, right.
Very good. Okay, is there any other website other than, I mean, that's your program. What's your overall website if somebody just wants to learn more about Diane Gardner?
www.taxcoachforyou.com. Best place to go learn all about me.
And you got a lot of good free stuff on that website, I know, because I check up on you.
I do.
Awesome. Diane, thank you so much for coming back. Week 2 on Newsletter Guru TV. You've been a great guest as usual. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, folks, that wraps up this very special and extended episode of Newsletter Guru TV with Diane Gardner. And be sure to check out Stick Like Glue Radio. That is my weekly podcast featuring all kinds of tips, strategies, and advice you can get your customers to stay longer so they spend more and refer more. Those are all great things in any business. We still have about 20 seats left at my next Dream Business Academy, which is in Annapolis, Maryland, October 7th, 8th, and 9th. So go to dreambizacademy.com, dreambizacademy.com. Don't forget, before the day's out, do one thing, just one random act of kindness to a complete stranger. Wave them into traffic. Just do something to put a smile on somebody's face. Not only, by the way, does it make them feel good, it makes you feel great also, and that's a good bonus. All right, until next week, another great episode of Newsletter Guru TV. My name's Jim Palmer. I'm the Dream Business Coach because I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. Take good care.